And welcome back again, everyone. Today we are reviewing the Cuenca 5 Anniversary Robusto. Back in March I reviewed the Torpedo version 7x54 and it scored a nice 92. So let's see where the Robusto falls. A lot of times different sizes do give off different flavors and strengths. Now a little bit about this cigar. This uses a Nicaraguan Lajero wrapper from Jalapa. It's a dark sun-grown wrapper. The binder is an experimental Criollo Cubana 2010, and the filler is Dominican and Nicaraguan. Cigar is 5x54, made in Nicaragua by AJ Fernandez, who Anna, the owner of Cuenca Cigars in Hollywood, Florida, is good friends with AJ, and he had just enough of this prize wrapper to make her cigars. He didn't have quite enough to go to a mass market distribution, as when he makes cigars for the country, for the mass market. There's tens of thousands that he makes, but he didn't have quite enough for that, so they struck a deal, and he sold it to her. So AJ Fernandez and Anna are good friends. Actually, I had a chance to meet Anna in September when we were in Florida for one of our cruises. Went to Hollywood, Florida to her shop. Very nice lady. So let's get right to it. This is a 5x54 box pressed, as you can see. There's your density. There's your band. Very colorful foil band. This is in honor of their 5th anniversary, so let's get right to it. All right, box pressed, very nice, easy to clip the cap there. Take off just the very top portion. Very good. Very good draw. There's what we took off right there. Well, the first flavors I'm getting are a lot of leather, a nutmeg citrus combination. The citrus, it has a little sweetness at this point. I'm going to call it a tangerine type flavor, but quite a bit of nutmeg mixed there. The leather is your predominant flavor at this point. There's some earthy notes. Pepper is around a 7-ish, more or less. The cigar comes across as medium to full-bodied out of the gates. Let's see how it settles down and what have you. But those are your initial flavors, and I'm quite sure it'll make some changes. So let's see where the Cuenca 5 Anniversary Robusto goes from here. Well, about an inch in, as you can see, and the cigar is burning just perfectly, just about absolutely perfect. Now, the faint tangerine type citrus notes are really no longer there. You are left with your nutmeg notes that have a little butteriness to them. There's also some roasted nut flavors to go along with the heavy leather and earth. That's about the biggest change right there. The finish is really one sort of a nutmeg itself. There is some lingering pepper. The pepper is a black pepper, and it's very tingly. You can feel it around your palate and what have you on the finish. So this is a different cigar from the Torpedo. I can already tell, but it's very good. Now it's a very it's somewhat of a heavy feeling cigar. I'll stick with the medium to full bodiedness, even at this point. I can't say enough good things about the burn. As I rotate it, you can see it's just perfect. So let's see where we go from here. But at this point, we've dropped off the tangerine flavors. So there's not much sweetness. It's more of a butteriness to that nutmeg on the front end. Well, I guess I'm halfway, or maybe a little beyond. Flavor update. The nutmeg notes have now changed over to a very faint cedar. There are quite a bit of those roasted nut flavors directly attached to the cedar. There's still ample leather and earth notes. The finish now is more of a roasted nut flavor. Very, yeah, roasted nuts. This is very typical flavors of AJ Fernandez. You can definitely tell his handicraft here. But the one thing this cigar is so different from the Torpedo is that by now I had a lot of sweet notes. If you look back at that review, and they're not in this cigar. It's heavy on the leather, heavy on the nut, heavy on the earth, very light cedar. Different animal. Well, we're down to the end, so let's wrap it up. This is a very different cigar from the Torpedo. This is, and here at the end, let me update the flavors. There were a few charred oak notes to go along with the heavy nut flavors, earth, leather. So all dark flavors, very light cedar notes. You can detect them, but they're not overly sweet, and it's just a straight cedar, and it's very light. Everything else pretty much overpowers it. The pepper remained about 7, maybe bumped up to an 8, but it's somewhere between a 7 and an 8, black pepper. Finish remained constant with what it was here previously, with sort of a roasted nut flavor with some lingering pepper. Medium to full bodied would be about the top end. And this is a very different cigar from the Torpedo. The Torpedo had much more sweeter flavors, even had notes of cherry in there, cedar, very sweet flavors. This cigar did not. Now, if you like the heavy dark flavors, this would be a very good cigar for you. And this seems to occur in the Robusto size only, so it's just a different animal. I guess comparing the two, which I've had, the Torpedo and this one, I tend to give a little more preference to the Torpedo with all those sweeter flavors. I like that, and that's why it got the nice score it did. Scoring this cigar, because of all the heavy, darker flavors and what have you, I'm giving it a score of 90. Still very good flavors, very good flavors of nut and leather and what have you, but it just didn't have enough of the sweet notes on the cedar. So there you have it, the Cuenca 5 anniversary Robusto gets a score of 90. Now check online, these are available at Cuenca, their website, and I'll have a link to their site on the blog. So look for that. So there you have it. Once again, score of 90 for the Cuenca 5 anniversary